What's going on, guys? Dave Mate, setting up the video. All right, guys, so it's been a while. Originally, this video was supposed to be with my buddy Ricky and I. We were going to talk about lucid dreaming. I'm not really sure what happened to Ricky. Ricky, what's up, man? If you're watching this later on. So I'm just going to have to freestyle it, which I usually always do. Just freestyle it. These things aren't rehearsed or scripted. The intention for today's discussion was to just talk about Yerba Mate, lucid dreaming, dream yoga. Those of you that used to follow me on my Mind Pedals channel that I started many, many years ago, I used to have hundreds and hundreds of videos on that channel about spirituality and lucid dreaming, these sort of esoteric concepts. You'll remember that lucid dreaming was one of my primary themes of discussion back then. And I never really stopped lucid dreaming. I just haven't really spoken about it in a long time. I haven't really discussed aspects of spirituality, only because the truth is, what do I know? It's very dangerous to think that somebody could talk about these concepts and then come off as an authority. You can't be an authority on spirituality. You can't be an authority on lucid dreaming. You can't be an authority on ethereal, outer-worldly things, in my opinion. So the reason I stopped talking about those things is because people were starting to take me literally. They were starting to take it for truth, even though it is my truth. But I never want people to think that what I'm saying when I talk about spirituality and dreams and dream yoga and these things, take it as a grain of salt. Take it as a song. Take it as a rhapsody. Take it as a little bit of inspiration, perhaps, to maybe allow you to further investigate these things. I'm no authority on these subjects. I'm just someone who likes to share information that inspires me, things that I like to study. And how does this connect with Yerba Mate? I don't know. I just drink Yerba Mate, and it seems that Yerba Mate helps with lucidity in general, whether it's in this physical waking life or this lucid dreaming life. So however you're watching this, maybe some of you are watching this on Google Plus, and feel free to jump in, ask questions, join. Maybe some of you guys are watching this on Facebook or YouTube, so you're just viewing. That's okay. Hello, everybody. So just a little background. I'm Dave Mate, founder of Circle of Drink. It's a company / organization that I started about 7 years ago. Well, formally, I started it about 5 years ago, but for seven and a half years, I've been involved with Yerba Mate tea. This is how I drink it, traditionally out of a gourd. You put the herb in here. You have a metal straw with a filter at the end of the straw. You put that back in there. Then you get yourself some hot water, and you pour it in here like so. And then you just enjoy this beautiful herb, powerful herb. Now, obviously, I sell Yerba Mate, so I'm biased. Full disclaimer. But I just love it. Drink it every day for the past 7.5 years. I've been drinking. I love it. Now, let's just jump into lucid dreaming. What is lucid dreaming? Now, just bear with me, guys. Remember, take this as a grain of salt. You don't have to take this literally. You don't have to take my word for word, just whatever, okay? Lucid dreaming, ever since, as long as I can remember, I've been a lucid dreamer. From the time that I was a little baby, I just remember being able to wake up in a dream. So you're having a dream, and most people don't know that they're having a dream. They think it's real life. That's what a dream is in many senses. You're just dreaming. And then in the dream, you think that's real life. And then something crazy happens and you wake up. That's the broad spectrum of a dream, let's say. The thing about a lucid dream is when you're having a lucid dream, you're able to wake up inside the dream and realize that you're having a dream. Once you attain this realization that you're having a dream, you could literally do anything that you believe that you could do. Now, many people mistakenly say that you could do anything, which is true. You can do anything in a lucid dream, but yet you could only do things that you believe that you can do. So it doesn't matter if you're having a lucid dream and you gain this lucidity. If you don't believe that you could fly, you're not going to fly in the lucid dream because you still don't believe that you could fly. And this is the greatest example of real life. I truly believe, call me crazy, but I truly believe that we could fly now in this physical reality if we truly believe that we could. We don't truly believe that we can, so we don't. Okay, that's another thing. I don't want to go off on that, but that kind of ties in. So as long as I can remember, I've been a lucid dreamer. I've had the ability to wake up in a dream, to control the dream, so to speak, and to talk to people, to ask people questions, to fly. When I was younger, I realized that when I learned how to fly in lucid dreams, I wasn't able to fly very high. Why? Because I was scared. I was only able to fly, let's say, 200 feet, 100 feet, 80 feet or so. I wasn't able to just fly straight up and go all the way up into the sky, thousands of feet. I was scared. So for several years, I was just flying on very low levels. It was fun. It was amazing. I got the hang of it. It's crazy because it is really like practice. Once you begin a lucid dream, it's like you remember it. I don't know how this works, but you really remember how to do it. So the next time you have a lucid dream, you get better. You get better. So over the years, I learned how to do some fantastic things in lucid dreams. I learned how to walk through walls. I learned how to move things with my mind. I learned how to create lasers coming out of my fingers. I learned how to teleport to different realms. I don't know where they were. Now, somebody may be looking at this this video, let's say a classical psychologist or psychiatrist or even an MD or just somebody who knows about, you know, science, Newtonian physics, what have you. They may be saying, okay, well, Dave, that's all in your mind. These things aren't real. These are just projections of your mind. You're not really flying. Nothing's really happening. These are just imagery coming into your consciousness, let's say, while you're dreaming, and is creating a movie effect, and none of it's real. Now, I used to believe that to some degree. I really did, until I started having some really interesting lucid dreams that I just couldn't explain, where I was having conversations, real conversations with people, let's call them people, that were telling me different things and things that I would have never have known in this waking life. I couldn't explain it. It just kept on happening and happening and happening, and still happens to this day. So the truth is, I believe that there's a combination of, yes, just basic psychology where your subconscious is bringing out these images, which we call dreams, and a lot of it is just, I don't want to say nonsense, but it's just material. It's just material from visualization, from seeing things in the day, from meeting people. So the dream is just a mixture of all these little things happening, all these projections of the mind. Yes, I agree with that. But I also believe that there's something more. There's something more. I don't know what it is, but the abilities that you could perform in these dreams, the discussions that you could have, the things that you could literally learn. I've learned so many things that I've taken back into this physical world. How do you explain that? I don't know. All I know is that for me, my personal experience, for me, it's real. It's real. It's just as real as this physical life. So we are now, just over the past 15, let's say over the past 10 years, psychiatrists, psychologists, even physicists are starting to actually accept this as a reality. How do they accept it? What are some examples? Well, now for the first time, psychologists are starting to admit that you could perform better in sports if you have dreams or visualizations of you performing better in a particular sport. They're just coming to terms to admitting that dreams can affect physical reality in terms of training for things. They're starting to create video games now, video games that put your mind into a certain state, video games that help you lucid dream to practice a particular sport or to overcome particular fears. So we're in an interesting time right now where doctors and scientists who, 10 years ago would have thought of this as all hocus pocus, they're just starting to come around and really say, well, there might be something to this, which is ironic because the Tibetans and, ancient civilizations for tens of thousands of years, let's say, have been speaking about lucid dreaming and what they call dream yoga for a long time now, thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So now it's kind of like we're coming full circle. So let me just segue now for a second. How does yerba mate have a relationship with lucid dreaming? Well, this gets into 2013. Now, I like to meditate. I meditate pretty much every day for the past decade, over a decade. I've been meditating every day. I set aside some time and I meditate. For me, meditation is extremely important for me. It allows me to clear my mind. It gives me a sort of power. It gives me a sort of clarity. It gives me a sort of confidence in this reality. Again, I don't know how exactly it works. I have my theories, and of course, I've read dozens and dozens, maybe even 100 books on meditation. But I don't want to come off right now as, you know, preaching about meditation. I just want to speak generally. So I remember distinctly in 2013, I was meditating. I was just sitting down, zazen, sitting down in meditation. And something weird happened that never happened to me before. It was at night. It was in June 2013. And I remember meditating, and all of a sudden, I just felt like a tingling sensation around me, my upper part of my body. And then next thing you know, my vision, because when I meditate, I keep my eyes cracked slightly. This is a form of meditation seen in Japan, mostly, the Zen meditation. And I remember my entire vision got clouded, and it turned white. Just whiteness came into my vision. And I started to lose total sensation of my body. And at first, I was extremely scared. I was like, what the heck is happening? But I went with it. And next thing I know, it sounds crazy, I know, but next thing I know, I'm basically not physically floating, but I felt like I was floating. I lost total sensation of my body. I didn't know what happened. It lasted for, I don't know, a minute or so. And then, to be honest, I got a little scared, so I just broke out of it. I was like, oh, I got to break out of this. Well, I don't know what's happening. So the next day I did some research online. I said, what is this? Has anyone ever experienced this? What is this that has happened to me? And then I came across a term called astral projection. I didn't know what it was until that day, until the next day. And I realized that astral projection is closely related to lucid dreaming. Some people think it's the same thing in many ways. So for about 2 weeks, I researched. I'm one of those people, I love to research things. So I researched everything I could find about astral projection, okay? And then I started to perform some exercises on how to go into this astral projection, how to actually, bear with me now, how to actually disconnect from the physical body while you know that you're doing it. So you have intention to do this. So there's all these exercises where you could stare at a flame, or you can learn how to catch yourself before you physically fall asleep. So it's basically a practice where you allow your body to physically fall asleep. Your body goes into something called the hypnagogic state. This happens to everybody every single night. During the hypnagogic state, your body physically paralyzes you from the waist down. This is a part of evolutionary development through human beings. Basically, if you didn't have this ability, your body didn't have this ability to paralyze you, then you would act out your dreams physically every night. You'd be, you know, jumping off of buildings. You'd be running around. So the body puts you in this paralyzation and paralyzes you. And the trick to astral projection is to basically find that thin line. Find that line where your physical body falls asleep, totally falls asleep. You can't even feel your physical body anymore, but your mind is totally awake. So then you're kind of trapped inside your physical body, just floating around. And just to segue real quickly, most people, when they find themselves in this state without intention, they believe that they're in a nightmare. How many times have you woken up, but you can't move your physical body, and you feel like there's something on your chest, or you feel like there's all these crazy things happening? Most of the times when people see aliens in these things, and not to say that they don't exist, but most of the time when people have these nightmares, they're caught in a hypnagogic state, and they're trapped in there, and they don't know how to get out of it. So their mind creates all these visuals of these monsters and what have you, people trying to get you. Not to say in some instances that could be real, but for the most part, it's just you conjuring up fears because you're stuck in this state. Now, there's a practice where you can actually learn to get into this state and then be calm, be totally calm, and then just basically detach from your body. And then you're in something called, I don't know, some people call it an energetic body or a spiritual body. I don't know what it is. All I know is that I've done it many times. So when I find myself in the hypnagogic state, I basically drop through my bed. I'm able to drop through my body and then get up and stand up and walk around. Now, where am I at this time? My body's physically sleeping, but I'm walking around. Where am I? I don't know. Things look the same, but they don't. I see different people. I talk to different people, and I say, listen, man, I'm dreaming. Like, this is crazy. Like, who are you? I'm dreaming. My physical body's over there. And I don't know how to explain this. I don't know where you go. It's like a copy of the physical reality, but things are different. Sometimes you find yourself in different eras. Like I found myself in 2012 when I was in, 2016. And in this state, you could fly, you could do different things, but you're super, super aware. So this is what people call astral projection. And I guess that you could kind of lump it into lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming is more of, you didn't do it with intention. You just basically found yourself in a dream, and then you were able to recognize that it was a dream, and that was it. And then you took off. So, okay. Now, coming full circle, how does this relate to yerba mate? Well, for me, I believe that yerba mate has helped to increase my lucidity. Now, in Waking Life, yerba mate, those of you who know about yerba mate, you know that yerba mate helps you feel sharper. It helps you feel clearer. It gives you energy. It gives you power. It gives you a boost in cognition. Okay, so anybody could do any research on yerba mate, and you'll quickly come to terms with, the power of yerba mate. So for me, when I started to drink yerba mate and started to do more astral projection and lucid dreaming with intention, I noticed that my dreams are more lucid. I noticed that my astral projections were easier to do, easier to go into with intention. So I started to think, well, yerba mate just increases lucidity. It doesn't matter what world you're in, whether you're sleeping, whether you're awake. The further along I get on this journey, my life's journey, call it what you will, I'm beginning to realize there is no such thing, for me at least, as separate worlds. When you're dreaming and you're in a world and you see things and you do things and you talk to people, for me, it's just as real as this physical world. Now, for me, that has allowed me to conquer my fear of death. I have no fear of death. I have no fear of death. Now, of course, if someone's trying to kill me and get me, and they got things and they're trying to hurt me, yes, of course, I'm going to have fear. I'm a human being. Human beings will have fear. That's intelligence to have fear in that respect. But in terms of dying, lucid dreaming and astral projection has really taken away all my fear of dying, because for me, I don't believe that I am just this physical body. I believe that this physical body is inside of my spirit. My spirit is not just inside of this physical body. So I know for many people, this may sound totally, esoteric and crazy, but the way that I conduct my life is that I don't let that stop me from talking about these things. I'm still going to talk about these things, even if it, somebody may be watching this and say, oh my God, I'm never going to do anything with Dave Mate again. I don't want to get his products, and I don't want to be a part of this. This is a crazy thing he's talking about. That's okay. Because at the end of the day, I have to be true to myself. I have to be true to what I'm doing. I have a mission, and you have a mission, and everybody has a mission. And I hope that you have a great mission, and I hope that I have a great mission. And that's it. For me, yes, I run a business and I do different things entrepreneurially, but I'm interested in so many things, so many concepts, and I really have no fear of sharing them with people at the risk of coming off as crazy, or the risk of coming off as like, what is this guy talking about? For me, that's just the name of the game. When you put yourself out there on the internet, that's the name of the game. You're going to have people who try to take you down. You're going to have people who try to, belittle you. And, that's okay. I'm totally used to that. That's fine. I just send peace to those sort of people. Peace onto you. So let me try to tie this whole thing together. Okay, guys? So lucid dreaming, the ability to wake up in a dream. Astral projection is when you are able to consciously, with intention, detach from your body, come out into the spiritual body, and do what you want to do. I truly believe that there's benefits to these things, because if you look at the classical definition of a dream, your body is basically trying to, your mind rather, is basically trying to help you deal with situations, whether it's fears, whether it's anxieties. You know, that's what's happening in a dream. Your mind is trying to solve problems. That's the fundamental classical explanation of dreams. Your mind is trying to deal with situations for you. That's why it's no coincidence that in the mornings you have more of an ability to come up with solutions, because during the night time when you were, I don't want to say unconscious, you're never unconscious, you're 100% conscious 24/7. Even when doctors say the patient was unconscious, that makes no sense to me. Absolutely no sense to me. But anyway, at night, your mind is trying to work out problems. So knowing that, using that as the basic assumption that your mind is trying to work out problems, if you know that, if you're super aware of that, then you could say, okay, well, I know what's going to happen. I know every night when I go to sleep, my mind is going to try to work out problems. So what I've been doing lately is before I go to sleep, it's very important. The 5 minutes before you go to sleep, you must have your mind saturated with beautiful thoughts, with powerful, beautiful thoughts. Anything that you're trying to solve, any issues you're having in your life, you don't want to bring negativity into this, because it's like marinating food with dirt and then going to sleep and then trying to cook it. You know, you got to marinate food with good things, with good oils, and then cook it. Same thing before you go to sleep. If you have any problems that you're trying to work out, if you have any issues, any relationships you're trying to deal with, even if it's like a math problem, anything, you don't want to go to sleep with the energy of worrying, with the energy of negativity, with the energy of fear. All of these energies are like doors closing. They just close. They close opportunity. They tell your mind that you cannot go forward. So most people at night, before they go to sleep, what are they doing? They're worrying about bills. They're worrying about what somebody said to them. They're worrying about, you know, they're angry at somebody. Maybe they hate somebody. Maybe they're working out a plan to destroy somebody. Every time you do that before you go to sleep, you're priming your mind for negativity. You're priming your mind to basically be shunted off from great things happening. So at night, before you go to sleep, spend 5 minutes just clearing all that away. Even if you have to pretend, it's fake it before you make it, you know? Even if you have to just say, okay, I'm angry, but let me just get all that out. Let me just think happy thoughts. Try that. And then when you go to sleep, your mind is going to be primed to help you solve problems, to help you figure out anything that's going on in your life that's causing you stress or harm. Let the power of the dreams work. Let the power of the mind work for you. Okay? Don't be a slave to the mind. Every time you think negativity, I hate this person, I'm a racist, that person's black, that person's white, that person's Spanish, oh my gosh, this person's gay, this person's a lesbian. All these thoughts are negativity. Okay? These things, they will prevent you from growing. You cannot grow with these thoughts. These thoughts are like gates. They just shut you off. They shut you off. They shut you off. You cannot grow. There's no growth with this sort of negative thinking. So at night, now that you know that you have the power to lucid dream, now that you know that the mind wants to help you solve problems, you must clear all this negativity away. Then go to sleep. And then even better, the next level would be to become lucid in the dream. So now that you have a problem that you're working out and you become lucid, now you can start to walk up to other characters. Let's call them characters in the dream. And you can start to ask them questions. Hey, I'm dealing with this. What's your feedback? Hey, there's been many times where I sat down with people and they were teaching me all sorts of amazing things. A week and a half ago, there was a dream with this guy, which was teaching me these mathematical operations. I don't know what was going on, but he was just like, come over here, Dave. I got to show you something. And he was working on this machine and he was showing me these processes and he was showing me these calculations. And I was just like, wow, this is crazy. I'm having a dream. This guy's teaching me these things. Like, what is this? And I just remember writing it all down the next morning. I'm not going to share exactly what I learned. That's something I don't want to do, but you know, I think that's a private. When you have lucid dreams and you communicate with people, don't go off and start bragging to people and sharing all this information. Don't let your left hand know about your right hand and your right hand know about your left hand, as we learned. You know, keep these things to yourself. Just stay humble. But I will say that I do learn things from these characters. So basically, guys, I just wanted to share that, give a little food for thought. You know, Yerba mate. I love yerba mate. For me, it has helped me gain deeper lucidity. And this was also just an inspirational video to give some, you know, a little bit of advice. I guess you could say a little bit of inspiration. Maybe these words will help somebody. I don't know. But I just wanted to kind of get that out there. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. If you have any comments, feel free to comment. If your comment's crazy and I don't reply back, then just, you know, I send you peace. Okay, I send you peace. All right, guys, Dave Mate. Check me out at circleofdrink.com if you want to learn more about yerba mate, this beautiful herb from Argentina that I drink every day. And that's about it, guys. Take it easy. Peace.